Yo, what's poppin', y'all? I go by the name R.O.Z. Just R.O.Z, no acronym. Allow me to introduce myself. Cheese.
Who's up and coming? Who's got next? This is...
Allow me to introduce myself.
How to describe my sound? I'd say I'm very laid back. I have a lot of different sounds like hip hop, R&B, dabble into that a little bit, and definitely Afro music. So I'd say I have up tempo, I got the slow pace, all of that, but overall I'd say it's laid back kind of music. You know what I mean? I got a laid back style, but I can do it all. So what influenced my sound? I'd say a lot. Like growing up, before I even got into hip hop, my dad used to play a lot of, not Afro music at the time, African music, like High Life, Daddy Lumba. Obviously we grew up in the church, so you hear a lot of soul music, that kind of thing. But as soon as I got into hip hop, shout out to Busta Rhymes, When Disaster Strikes, that kind of got me into the game, that got me into the hip hop. But I'd say growing up, you know what I mean, in my neighborhood, you know what I mean, people like Young Tony, Big Lean. But when I got into the game, my first mixtape, I'd say like French Montana, Max B, those were the kind of guys that I was listening to at the time when I first got into it. And then obviously all the other people that influenced us, like your Drakes, your Davidos, you know what I mean, people like that. So I've definitely been influenced with a lot of different type of music. So
Look, this is every day, 7 day in the cut. Racks moving like Puff Mace, just doubled up. Still styling out, stutter acting like he changed, but he still wildin' out. Just two of us came
a music making process, I'd say just like everyday life, you might catch a line and put it in your notes, or a flow, put it in your notes, that kind of thing. But most of the time when I'm in the studio, I'm usually with my guy Too Epic, and we bounce ideas, or sometimes I'll even hear stuff on the road in the mall or something like that, and I'll hit up Nico or Too Epic, and I'd be like, yo, can you sample this? Could you try some flip this type of thing? And when we get in the studio, we put on a beat and we just mumble or freestyle, and then we pick pieces out of that. So could be a good flow, could be a good melody, and then from there we just piece it together after that. So that's kind of how our process as far as creating. Jeez, I wasn't ready for that question. If I was stranded on an island, the 3 albums that helped me survive, that's a good question. Well, the first album I can think off the top of my head for sure is Life After Death, Biggie. First off, because it's a good length album, it's a double album, so at least I'll have a little bit of time to, and plus it's probably the best, in my opinion, the best hip hop album ever. Okay, I'll say this one. This might be a little bit recency bias, but the new Davido album, Timeless, that album is amazing. Like right now, that's the #1 album I've been playing for like since it came out. So definitely this year, it's the best album. So I'd say recency bias, I'd probably take that with me on the island. Third one, it'd be a close one between Drizzy, because you have to have some Drake something in there. But I'd either be a Drake something or Daddy Lumba's greatest hits, because I can't think of, or a Drake greatest hits, I can't think of anything else. But yeah, there's too many things there. Whatever. I probably have to get like the best songs and throw it on a playlist or something. Whatever, if I can do that. Can't, yeah.
Probably not, because it's an album.
Yeah. So let me try another. Maybe Scorpion, just because it's probably the longest. Or Take Care, actually. Maybe Take Care. I would say lengthwise, as far as like track listing, I'll just put Take Care in there just because it's the longest album other than Scorpion. I mean, people that do know me, I love to travel. I have like a lot of business international. I go to Africa a lot. I'm in Europe a lot. But one thing that people that do know me that don't know about me is that I hate flying. I hate flying. Like, I mean, like if it's longer than 5 hours, I gotta have the shout out to R.O.Z, because I take 2 of those and I'm out. I don't know when that happened. It like click. I've been traveling my whole life. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened. It was just one day I'm like, yo, we're in the air, and like anything could happen. And there's nothing I can do about it. So it's like I gotta sleep through it. I don't know. Like as soon as they have the teleport machine, as soon as they release that technology, I'm investing all my money in that because I like being there, but I hate getting there. Biggest mistake I have ever made. Well, I mean, obviously at the time, sometimes there's mistakes that happen that you think are mistakes, but then when years go by, you're kind of like, nah, that should have happened. A mistake. Okay, I would say as far as like my recording process, sometimes like I've had a problem as far as like consistency dropping stuff because I'm like so much of a perfectionist, and I've had like full projects that I was ready to drop, and then I might hear something or something might change my mind and I don't drop it at all. Like it's the International 2 and like even shout out to Davido. I remember we worked on the track like from scratch in the studio. He made it with me, and when I dropped the project, he hit me. He was like, "You didn't drop the song?" And I was like, "Yo, we didn't," you know. So yeah, I definitely messed up with that one. Whatever, I should have dropped that. And timing matters, so I don't even know if I could drop that now. You know what I mean? So I'd say that's probably a mistake.
That's a big mistake.
Definitely.
You gotta. Is it Davido or Davido?
He'll go with anything. I mean, like his real name's David, so Davido. Davido.
Anyway,
Yeah.
You have a song with one of the giants of Afrobeat.
Yeah.
And you didn't put it out.
No, well, we do have a song. We put out a song. Like we have a song we had a single that we dropped, Free. Featuring Davido. We shot the video in Paris, Nigeria, and he held it down for me and like stayed an extra day and shot a scene with me in Toronto. So we definitely have singles out we put out. But there was another single that we worked on from scratch. Super dope. Fresh was a producer. And yeah, like few complications. I think it was like vocals or like a verse from someone else and I didn't end up dropping the track because I was being too much of a perfectionist, and I definitely messed up with that one. So.
And there's no way that song will ever see the light of day now.
I mean, it could. I would have to ask him. You know what I mean? Like the track is still dope.
Did you not see him when he was here?
Oh yeah. I performed at the Budweiser. That's my yeah. That's family. Like yeah. So. But the thing is, I'm actually just remembering right now as we're talking about it, like mistakes. It's kind of like that was definitely a mistake. So shout out to Davido, the fact that he even like worked on tracks with me from scratch. Like that's a legend. So, but I might have to give him a call.
Still turning up, we still burning up, you bitch heard of us.
I showed up in the Mozzie, 20 hoes all in my lobby, 20 freaks came here to party, all off the Henny and the Molly.
Fastest way to make me angry. I'm like definitely laid back. I don't get really angry easy. I won't lie, like I've heard it before, whatever, but I remember like Drake had a thing one time where he talking about the 72-hour rule. And I remember when he said it, I was like, I tried it out and that definitely worked. Like that was something I lived by. So, well, he was saying something about like, when you act off of something that you're feeling when it first happens, chances are you're probably gonna regret it maybe a day or two after because it's probably an emotional reaction, But if you think about it for a few hours, few days, you know what I mean, you realize it's not really a big of a deal. And after 72 hours, if it is that big of a deal, then chances are you should address it, you know what I mean? So a lot of clarity happens within that time, and I'm already chill, so that rule definitely works for me. So I don't really get angry too crazy. It's not really easy to get me angry. I would say, well, my brothers call me R.O.Z, but I'm from Ghana, so in our culture we always have like two names, like your name probably on your birth certificate and the name you were born with, like the day of the week, you have a name like around that. So my name is Kujo, so my family just call me Kujo Ross. Like actually growing up in my neighborhood, rest in peace, our big homie Nahom. Like a community leader, he used to always call my real name is Ross, so he used to call me Ross Clot, and I hated that name. So I swear I used to I used to give hands to niggas it's like no, you know what I mean? I'm not letting that stick. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Now Home, but yeah, we let that Ross Clot die early. You know what I mean? But yeah. What my hidden talent? I'd say, I don't know if it's a talent now, but way back in the day, I was definitely heavy in sports. Played a lot of basketball, played a lot of football. I actually got 3 scholarships for football and 2 for basketball, 1.5 for basketball. But I didn't end up doing it. I ended up moving to Atlanta to try and pursue music, and a year later it didn't work out, and I ended up going to the school and paying tuition for a school that was at least gonna help me with the tuition and all. So, I mean, that was like short-lived, but I definitely was heavy in sports, like high school, college time. Played wide receiver in football, like wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner, that kind of thing. And in basketball, just point guard, shooting guards, small forward, that kind of thing. Yeah, but football was the main. That was the sport that like schools were actually like looking for me. So what's coming up next? Yeah, if you guys don't know, we just signed a deal with Sony Music West Africa. Did a partnership with them for the E&B label. That was an amazing move as far as like how much they've been working with me, and like shout out to Davido, you know what I mean, and the whole DMW team for embracing us through the years, because we learned so much, and they definitely taught us a lot that got us into the world as far as like doing the diaspora thing and embracing our African roots. So once I delved into that, I definitely like started jumping into that, and definitely got an opportunity to now like put on new artists. So shout out to Nigel Knight, shout out to Mason Groovy, shout out to Quasi. We definitely got some things in the works, and I'm just excited to put their new music out because they gave me an opportunity, so I want to give an opportunity to people too. So yeah, look out for that.
Yeah, we on some mob shit. Too real to talk shit. It's all around the clock shit. My niggas boss. Grind so much, I'm tripping thinking that we ain't been yet. Even though they see me, sign off a big check.
We got a lot of stuff dropping for y'all very, very soon. E&B, we just dropped our first single early summer, Nothing New, with Nigel Knight and myself. We just dropped a single 3 weeks ago with Mason Groovy, Nigel Knight, and myself called Easy Money. And we're about to drop a new single called Lifestyle in the next upcoming weeks. And shout out to Quasi too. We got some Afro music that we're about to drop on y'all just now. So we definitely have some joints in the works, a couple shows, and like a project coming. But in the meantime, we'll drop some singles for y'all. So stay tuned for that. I'm R.O.Z, and I just introduced myself. Ching! Catch me on Instagram, ROZ_EMB, Thread, all the socials, ROZ_EMB, and also EMB Music Group on Instagram, on Twitter, and also you can visit the website, embmusicgroup.com. Yeah, we have all the latest there, so just stay locked in, you know what I mean, all the new music, all the new news, just check that out and you'll see what's popping, so stay tapped in. Cheese.